Cada cosa que logro a ustedes se la dedico, aunque a veces no me entiendan y hayan cosas que no explico. Ey.
Hello my fearless friends. If this looks familiar, it's because I'm filming 2 videos in one sitting. I told you guys in the last video that I had some stuff that I wanted to talk about, so here I am talking about the second thing. The first one I was crying because I just had so much emotions built up about body image and body acceptance and self-acceptance and all those things, but I'm feeling a lot better. And I think, oh man, I feel like this is like a video diary because my therapist has been trying to get me into writing, and I've been writing pretty often. I write here and there, but I think this is just something more realistic to me because I know that someone somewhere, even if it's one person, might be able to benefit from it, and that just knowing that what I'm doing might benefit one person is what keeps me motivated. So that's why I'm doing these. And I'm trying to disrupt the thoughts that are telling me that there's gonna be people who are watching these videos who think that I'm just like attention seeking, but whatever, I digress. So the second thing that I wanted to talk about was just how frustrated I am about being almost 26 and feeling like I don't have this career thing figured out, you know? It's so hard because I'm a smart kid. I'm not a kid anymore, even though sometimes I feel like it, but I've always been really smart. And in school I was really smart, and if you guys listened to my podcast episode, you know kind of what happened to lead me to be distracted. And then after that, school wasn't for me, you know? I've worked lots of different jobs, lots of them, and there's only so many jobs that you can try without a degree, you know? But if there's one thing that I've always enjoyed doing, it's helping other people and listening to other people and try to give the best kind of advice that I can with the experience that I have. I remember in middle school, one specific friend, I'm not gonna say her name, but she was really going through it, and she would get kicked out of class. I would walk out there and I would, give her words of encouragement and stuff. And she wasn't the only one. And I think for a while there, a lot of people would come to me for advice and stuff. And not to say that I'm the best at giving advice, but I think people feel like I'm somebody who's approachable and who's understanding, and I think I am really understanding. And I think that the more that I do this, the more that I make videos, the more I feel okay with being myself, because it's starting to push me to be more comfortable with how I look on camera, what I say. And I think once I start to do that, people are more inclined to share their stories with me, And the more I'm honest with you guys, the more you guys feel okay to be honest with me. And some of the relationships that I've built from being genuine about how I've been feeling or the things that I'm going through are some of the best relationships that I've ever had. This year, I think, you guys know I had a really hard time making friends. If you guys remember, OG subscribers remember when I mean, obviously now I don't know how bad my social anxiety is because nobody can really go anywhere. And I think wearing a mask has really helped me because nobody knows who I am. So I digress, but you guys know how bad my social anxiety was. And this year has led me to make friendships over the internet, but I've gotten really close to some amazing women, and all of that has been because I've been honest and I've been like, hey, you know what, I'm not really good at being a girlfriend, but I'm learning and I would like to be your friend. And I'm saying all of this because if I wouldn't continue to push myself to be as honest as possible, then I don't think that what I say would be taken as serious, you know? I don't think my videos would feel and come off as genuine. They are genuine, but I don't think people would resonate with them as much if I was a little bit more reserved. I don't know if that's how you would say it, because I think there's some people who can be really good at being reserved and not sharing their stuff, but like genuinely be there for other people. But for me, I think that being honest and talking about my life and like the things that I'm going through is a strength. And all that I know how to do is this. All that I know how to do outside of, well, not all that I know, but like this is where I feel the most inspired, the most alive. Like this is what sets my soul on fire, is making content that I know somebody's gonna watch and hopefully get something from it, you know, and just like entertaining people. That is what makes me feel good. And it's hard because I have a really good job right now and it pays really well, but I don't know how many times we've talked about this or if I just talked about this to my friends, but for a minute there, I think that's actually what kind of led me also to go to therapy. I was in the middle of my shifts at work and I would start crying because I was so frustrated that I was sitting at a desk for, at that time I was working like 4 10s, but for 10 hours, just doing the same redundant thing over and over again. And I could have used those 10 hours to make new videos. And I was just so frustrated with that. And then it's hard to work a 9 to 5 and then want to create content and be as consistent as possible and put out as much content as possible, but also take care of your marriage, take care of your friendships, your family, your house, yourself, like all of those things, and then still have time to do content. Like it's just really, really hard. And I know it's possible. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I would literally fidget in my chair because of how much discomfort I was in. Like I just hated, I feel like I'm wasting a lot of time. But I'm also like, it's hard because I come from a place of gratitude, right? Like I have a really good job. I'm still working during COVID. But I wish I was able to do this more often. And I like to edit the way that I like to edit. I like to add captions on the screen. I like to add sound effects. I like to try to think of cooler shots, you know, and I might not be the best at it, but I'm learning. And I think the learning part is my favorite part. Learning how to do new things on Final Cut Pro. You know, I just switched to Final Cut this year. Learning how to get your guys' attention, challenging myself to try to do different videos, things like that. That is what brings me joy, and I wish that I had more time to do it, and I wish that I could just leave my job because I was offered to take over all of the bills, especially during that time that I was kind of going through it, because I was so unhappy to the point where it was like, what am I doing this for? Like, what am I here for? There's nothing for me here, you know? In regards to my career and like finding my purpose essentially. And then I go into this like spiral because I'm like, you should be so grateful, like you have a good job, you have a good husband, you have a good family, you have a good support group, and yet you feel like you are going through it because you're not a YouTuber or you're not a podcaster, you know? Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. But I'm just having a hard time because, so this is all coming from my plants. I love plants, and you guys know that. And this started in August of this year. And at this point, I think I have like 40 plants, right? But it's really frustrating because I've spent a lot of money on my plants. I've spent a lot of money on this office, and I get really frustrated with myself because I'm like, why the hell do you keep buying those plants? Why do you keep buying stuff for your office if you want to be in a good place where you could leave your job to dedicate yourself fully to making content? But it's like, then I get frustrated because I'm like, but I should be able to get the plants that I want. Like I should be able to buy that frame at TJ Maxx for $12 or whatever, you know? I was watching A Million Little Things, and one of the guys Jerome, he ends up quitting his job because he produces commercials, but he's been wanting to make a movie. And he was telling his wife about it, and he thought that she was gonna take it like in a negative way because she had just opened a new restaurant. But she essentially, sorry guys if I spoiled it for you, but she essentially told him, hey, we don't have any kids, like if you're gonna do it, you should do it right now, like quit your job. And I was just like so emotional for him because I cannot wait for that moment, because I love the company that I work for. The company that I work for is solid. They've taken care of me since day one. But I feel like I would do much better doing something else. I think that I don't think I was put on this earth to do the job that I'm doing right now, you know? I feel like it's a stepping stone, and I think that that's okay. But man, do I get frustrated when I really think about it and think about 40 hours, what I could do with 40 hours. I could be a daily vlogger. Like, how cool would that be, you know? This is the only way that I know, and I said this on Instagram the other day, but this is the only way that I know how to spread light aside from being a good person. I want to make my content my career because I want to keep reminding you guys that there is light out there, you know, and that life gets fucking hard sometimes, but that doesn't mean that it's permanent, whatever you're going through. And I think in a selfish way, I want to do it because it also helps to remind me. And it helps to remind me that there's people like you guys out there who are watching me who get it, who resonate with me, because for the longest time I felt like I was alone. I had to stop that because it was getting too long, but for the longest time I felt like I was alone, like I was the outcast. And it's crazy to me to think some of you who have become really good friends with me because of this channel, and I just want to continue to do that. And I don't know if you guys know who Kathleen Lights is, but I love her, and essentially I just want to be like her and make people feel the way that she makes me feel. And she's a beauty YouTuber. What are they called? I don't know what they're called, but that's what I want, you know? I want you guys to be like, damn, she's so real, and I'm gonna watch every single one of her videos because I can relate to that, because that's real life, because I get it, because I know what depression feels like. I know what feeling ugly feels like. I think that there's something positive that comes from reminding ourselves that the mountain that we're climbing is not as big as we think it is. And sometimes you need help to get you up that mountain, and I want to be that help. And maybe I am crazy for thinking that making videos like this or making content in general is gonna help anybody, but it's helping me and it's making me feel good. And gosh darn it, my therapist has been drilling it into my head that I need to continue to focus on the things that are making me feel good, and this is what makes me feel good. And I don't care that there are people, close people in my life that keep questioning what the hell I'm doing with my life, because this is what makes me feel good. And I think that I don't want to get to being 80 years old and have any regrets and be like, oh, I should have stuck with that because it made me happy. I'm not a sellout. I will not look for another job that's going to pay me better because it pays me better. Like, no, I'm going to continue to do what I want because I want to. And the more that I do this, you know, I've been pretty consistent now that I came back, the more I realize that this is what I want. And like I said in my previous video, this can change tomorrow, this can change in a couple of hours, but for right now, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to continue to pursue it. Digan lo que digan, I don't care. I do not care, because we need more people in our world that are chasing after the things that scare them, you know? This scares me. Putting this out on the internet scares me, because I'm sure that there's people who are like, damn, she's so unrealistic. And I don't care. At this point, I really don't. I really don't care. I'm gonna continue to do it and we'll see how it plays out. And I'm glad that I was able to have this therapy session with you guys because I feel so much better. Ricardo has no idea that I just had a whole ass breakdown on camera, but that's okay. I needed this. If you guys got this far, if you watched both of my just talking, venting videos, thank you. Thank you for all of your support. Also, before I forget, my most viewed video is one called The One With All the Hiccups. And apparently there's people who have fetishes for hiccups. And I've talked to a lot of people about this, but I'm telling you guys, I do not want to be the channel that has their most viewed videos because she has hiccups. Like, that's gross. So help your girl out, share the video, tell your tias, your grandma, your uncles, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, your sisters, your brothers, tell everybody to watch my videos because we need to make the Fearless Friends Club bigger because we need more positive vibes. Buenas vibras, that's all we need. And the bigger, the better. You know, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But I feel a lot better. Thank you guys for listening. For real now. I'm gonna go. I love you guys and we'll be back soon. Bye.